Hi, I'm Sydney, and you're watching Sydney Shelves. I'm here today to do my July reading wrap-up. July is over, and August is upon us. I read 24 things total in the month of July. 10 of them were graphic novels, 7 of them were manga, 3 of them were audiobooks, and 4 of them were just regular old reading with your eyeball books. So let's get into it. First, let's talk about the graphic novels that I read. I started out reading Chew, Volume 12. This finishes up this wild series. There's just so many plot twists, and the world building is so good in this story. There's so much going on. It's compelling, the characters are heartwarming, and I cried during this book, which is the first time for a graphic novel. It really just touched me. I gave Chew, Volume 12, 4 out of 5 stars. Then I read Oddly Normal, Volume 1. This is a really cute middle grade graphic novel series. It's really fairy tale-esque in nature as it tackles topics like bullying and not fitting in. I found the art to be pleasing to the eye and very cartoonish, which fit the storyline, the fairy tale-like stuff going on. I gave Oddly Normal a 4 out of 5 stars. Next I read Saga, Volume 8. I've been reading Saga for about 2 years and I just love it. Marco and Elena's relationship is seriously goals. I love the found family aspect, but I think my favorite part of Saga is how it's not afraid to discuss topics like miscarriage, abortion, nudity, and that's only in this volume. If you haven't read Saga yet and you're okay with a little mature content, please pick this up. I gave Volume 8 4 out of 5 stars. Next I read Just Princesses. This is another middle grade graphic novel series that's supposed to be cute and deals heavily with just like fairy tale life and being royal, but I found it really dumbed down and kind of lame. I was very bored. I gave it a 2.5 out of 5 stars. Then I read Elsewhere, Volume 1. This is a story about what if Amelia Earhart fell into a fantasy world when she disappeared all those years ago. It really plays up the mystery surrounding Earhart, and I just had a lot of fun reading it. The art is beautiful, and I really felt like it fit the story. I gave Elsewhere, Volume 1, 5 out of 5 stars. Then I read Crosswind, Volume 1. This is your typical Freaky Friday body swap story between an abused housewife and a member of the mob. It was really dark, and it's trans-owned voices, so that's pretty cool. I do wish that the trans part had been delved into more, just so that it made sense, the ending, but I did enjoy it. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. Next I read Scales and Scoundrels, Volume 1. This is about a thief/treasure hunter who joins up with a prince, a guard, and a dwarf to find some treasure at a sacred place in the forest. I love the warm tones, the dragons were super cool, and I just can't wait to see where this story is headed. I gave this volume 5 out of 5 stars. Then I read Moonstruck, Volume 1. This is an endearing little mystery about a female werewolf, her female werewolf date, and her half-horse best friend. There's a supernatural aspect to this story that I really enjoyed. There's also some great representation for bisexuality and gender fluidity. The main characters are pretty memorable, although borderline annoying at times. Overall, though, I can say that I did enjoy reading this comic, and I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. Finally, for graphic novels, I read Monstrous, Volume 2. Monstrous is about a girl who has a demon/godlike creature stuck inside of her arm, and she's on a journey to get it out. If I said it before, I'll say it again. Monstrous is the best graphic novel when it comes to world building. This world is just so dark and magical and creepy and just awesome, and it's so well explored. I love this series and can't wait to get the next volume in my hands. I gave Volume 2 5 out of 5 stars. Next, all the manga that I read was during Manga-a-thon, which is a readathon that I hosted with Amanda and Taylor. We only read manga for a week, and I read 7 novels. If you want to see what I read, then watch the video that I'll link down in my description. Next, let's talk about audiobooks. I started off the month listening to Warcross by Marie Lu. I really reveled in this story. It was just so much fun. It's about a girl who is a bounty hunter in a world where most people spend all of their time in an online world, similar to Ready Player One. But she is hired by the creator of the online world to catch the bad guy, Zero. This book had so many twists and turns that I didn't see coming, and it was just really interesting and kept my attention the entire time. I can honestly say I was never bored while reading this, and I just loved it so much. I can't believe that I have to wait for the next one. I gave Warcross 5 out of 5 stars. Then I listened to Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi. This is set in a fantasy African world where the main character is trying to bring magic back. It's told in 3 points of view, and it's just so emotional. It's inspired by the Black Lives Matter movement, so it'll totally rip your heart out. It's necessary though, and this is a very important book, I think. I really love the audio because the narrator had such a beautiful accent, so it felt like she was weaving a story for me to listen to. I can't recommend this book enough. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. Lastly, for audiobooks, I listened to The Traitor's Game by Jennifer L. Nilsson. This is about a girl who is blackmailed into helping the revolution find a sacred item so that they can vanquish the evil overlord. It was really fun at first, but then it got really tropey. There's a love to hate romance that was just so insta-lovey, and the main character is like the chosenest of chosen ones, and I just couldn't deal. So even though I had a lot of fun in the beginning, by the end I was just skimming to get through with it. So I gave it 3.5 out of 5 stars. Now let's get into the physical books that I read, starting with Lifelike by Jay Kristoff. I actually have a full review for this on my channel, so I'll link it down below. Lifelike is about a girl named Evie who's living in a post-apocalyptic world. She finds out that she's not who she thinks she is, and chaos ensues. I read this as a buddy read with my bestest, Sammy the Nerdy Beastie from Bookstagram. We both adored this novel and are now obsessed with Jay Kristoff's writing. I think our favorite part of the book, though, were the characters. Lemon Fresh and Evie are two of my all-time favorite characters now, and their friendship is like thebomb.com. I gave Lifelike 5 out of 5 stars. Then I read The Bone Season by Samantha Shannon and its prequel novella, The Pale Dreamer. The Bone Season and its novella are set in an alternative/futuresque version of England where some people have developed the power of clairvoyancy. Clairvoyancy is illegal, and the book opens with our main character Paige having been arrested because she used her power of clairvoyancy to kill someone. I can't say much about this novel without spoiling the plot, but I will say the first 50 pages were super info-y and very boring, but then all of a sudden, bam, it got so intriguing and I just couldn't put it down. I was thinking about this book when I wasn't reading it, and I had to know what was going to happen. The last 2 chapters were so action-packed that I didn't know what to do after the mediocrity of the middle, but this book was so good and the characters were so compelling. I definitely want to continue on with the series. The Pale Dreamer, the novella, was really good as well. I think it was a little better because the author didn't have to go into all the info-dumpy explaining of the setting like she did in The Bone Season, so I just got to see the 7 seals in action, and so that was really fun. I'll definitely continue this series. I gave The Bone Season 3.5 out of 5 stars and The Pale Dreamer 4 out of 5 stars. Then I read Girl at the Grave by Terry Bailey Black. This was an ARC I received for NetGalley, and I actually have a full review for it coming out. It may already be out depending on when this is released, but this is pitched as a historical mystery, but it ran more like a historical drama. It's about a girl whose mother murdered someone a few years back, and now she finds out that her mother might have been innocent all along. The book tended to focus on more of the small town drama and the love triangle than it did on the actual mystery thriller part, so I was a little disappointed. Overall, I gave it a 3.5 out of 5 stars. Next, I read Someone Like You by Patty Blount. This was another ARC that I received from NetGalley, and another one that I'll have a review for up shortly. For now, know that it's about a girl named Ashley who was raped, and her brother who endures the actions leading up to the rape, and so now he feels incredibly guilty. It's obviously all about rape culture, and it's very pertinent to the times that we live in. Trigger warning, though, obviously, for rape, sexual assault, victim blaming, and the like. I think this book was really important and was overall really good, and so I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. Well, friends, that was my July reading wrap-up. Comment down below and let me know your favorite thing that you read during the month of July. Remember that my social media links are always provided in the description below. Hope you guys are having a lovely day. I'll see you in the stacks.